she's going to introduce Alice. So.
Okay.
Did you want me to read the objectives?
Oh,
before
yeah,
Alice
yeah, sorry.
introduces Alice?
Yeah, okay, you're the.
So before Alice introduces Alice, I'll
Okay.
say Alice.
That kind of threw you there.
It is a little different, yeah.
Yeah.
Alice's purposes for this speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. Demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. And I'm going to say it's a her, not a his.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Mr. Chairperson, fellow Toastmasters, and honorable guests, how many people here know very little about our indigenous people or our native people who were here for 10,000 years long before the white man? Does anybody know a lot about them? Nobody does? Well, I'm going to give you some personal experience, and since you probably have heard a lot of negative news about them, I want to tell you something that is probably the most outstanding thing I have learned from the Aboriginal people, from my own experiences. And it is finally coming to fruition in the world today. And I base my experience on having taught the Mohawk Indians. I had about 6 students from the Mohawk Reservation in Quebec, Oka. And I had the grandson at that time of the Indian chief, and he is now the chief of the Kanesatakis of Oka. And I also had a little Cree Indian boy in my town where I grew up. I'm not supposed to say Indian because it's indigenous, but I grew up with the name American Indian. I hope you'll forgive me if I keep relating to that. But this little Cree Indian boy was the first one to point out through an experience exactly how the Aboriginal or the Native peoples thought. And I'm going to base all of the tribes that I met, the Mohawks, and I also was in Wyoming on a ranch, and I saw there was a big wildfire not far from where I was on this ranch, and these beautiful oil paintings were evacuated to the ranch where I was staying, and what they were was pictures in oil paintings of all the outstanding chiefs of the tribes of the American and Canadian West. Such beauty I don't think I've ever seen again. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to give you not my words, what this wisdom is, but the words of a famous Indian chief from the American West. And I'll read them to you because I want to make sure you have his words, because his words are far better than anything I would ever say. And basically, what it was is, I'm taking the words of this great chief. His name was Seattle. Have you heard of Seattle, Washington? It's a big city named after him. And these words he spoke were spoken just before he gave the land he was on to the American government. And they were I thought they were extremely powerful, and they bespeak every single person I ever met of the Mohawks, the Kanesatake area, and the Cree Indian boy, and the people in Wyoming. It epitomizes the whole thing in these words. And what he was the chief of the Squamish tribes. I have to look at this word because I don't hear it every day. But Squamish is a name in British Columbia, Squamish, BC. And Squamish was the name of the tribe that he belonged to. And as I say, he was the chief of the tribe, and he gave a very powerful speech in Washington just before he signed over the papers giving the land to the United States government. And I'll just give you an idea of what this is. I have to read it exactly because, I got the sheet. I'm sorry, I didn't bring my sheet. It's got a yellow sticker on it. Very good. Here, yeah. Well, it should be here. I'm sorry about that. This is ad-libbing. Oh, here it is. Okay. Chief Seattle's thoughts, and this is the thoughts of nearly every tribe in the United States and in North America. How can you buy or sell the sky, the warmth of the land? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of the water, how can you buy them? Every part of the earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, Every clearing and humming insect is holy in the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memories of the red man. The white man's dead forget the country of their birth when they go to walk among the stars. Our dead never forgot this beautiful earth, for it is the mother of the red man. We are part of the earth, and it is part of us. And I would like to add one thing that I'm extremely proud of. My son and my 2 grandchildren are living this. They take a canoe ride down the lake, and they take pictures of the swans nesting, and my son frames them, and the little boys can't wait to get them to take home. And they know all the wildlife in the area. They walk in the woods and have been since they were knee-high to a grasshopper, not even able to walk. And they know the names of the flowers, the birds, the bees, you name the ospreys, and everything in the wildlife. And if you can do this with your children, teach them to love the earth and take care of things. Don't pollute it do as much as you can to preserve it. And finally, I think the world is waking up that that's exactly what we have to do. Cherish the earth and everything in it. We are all one and the same. And that's it.